welcome you back in for game number 2 on this Thursday night SFLm night with the Boston. Fresh off of that jet airliner camera duty here with DJ Kilgannon, making our way over San Jose game. And it is good to be with you all as Philadelphia comes to town to face the Boston Rebels. DJ, my friend, what have we got in this one? Both these teams with 1-0 records. Somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to win. What are your thoughts on this game?
Oh, Cameron, pleasure to be back with you again in these back-to-back games. I think tonight the biggest point of this game is going to be for Boston to try and slow down the rushing attack of this Philadelphia Cougars offense. They were dominant last week when it came to the run game, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, both of these teams were stellar. 4 sacks for Boston, 2 for Philly. Philly having 4 interceptions. It's going to be a good one tonight.
Let's have some fun. We welcome you in. Don't go anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. I don't think you'll even want to change the channel. Kickoff is underway. Philadelphia in their traditional grays and whites and reds they have received, and they bring it out to the 31-yard line. We will say hello to the starting lineup in just a moment. First thing we'll take, quarterback Mike Skamizniak, 6'3", 222 pounds. He sets up under center on this first play of the game. Boston and their first home game of their SFLm history. And it is a handoff to Frank Udon, the halfback, and that's where we will continue with this starting lineup. We mentioned Skamizniak and Udon. Also in the backfield, Rashawn Williams, the fullback John Osmosis, the wide receiving core of Toby Bonnets and Jamar Shelton, the tight ends Goose Busters and Jonathan Kilgore, the offensive line Leo Chang, Astro Smith, and Scott Calvin. On first down, it is a handoff. Rashawn Williams gets a couple, 3rd and 5, DJ.
Yeah, Morgan Brown, the outside linebacker, able to make another tackle after the short run. Frank Udon held to 5 yards on 2 attempts. That is a good start if you're this Boston Rebels defense, but it is a long night.
Mizniak to throw off the hands of his intended target. He was looking the way of Toby Bonnets. Incomplete, 4th and 5. And now we will mention that Boston Rebels defense that just forced the 3 and out. Defensive tackles May West and Landon on him. Defensive ends Baron Went and Moss Booker. The linebacking core of Morgan Brown, William Patterson, Duncan on him as well. Cornerbacks Hudson Cruz, Jimmy Hatsis, and the free safety Zion Waddle, and the strong safety Dante Scatalacarne. Fair catch called for at the 23-yard line, which is where Boston will set up shop with quarterback Dakota West under center.
Yeah, I got to shout out both these teams for the jerseys tonight. Boston looking snazzy in the dark blue with the red accent on the shoulders, and the icy white for the Cougars looks breathtaking.
These two teams are styling and profiling. West to throw on first down, looking deep, and it's almost intercepted. A good job on defense there by Philadelphia. Let's say hello to the Boston starting offense. Dakota West at quarterback. Mike Churchill, Lenore West, and Bismarck Wright in the backfield. Wide receivers Joey Hightower and Curtis Friesen. Tight ends Django West, Mike Kleinecht, and Oliver Tarask. The offensive line is Demon Pickle and Portia Henson. West, screen pass to Churchill. Not much, 3rd and 8, DJ.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Jason Peace over there in Philadelphia, and he pointed out tonight that he really wants to focus on stopping the run with this high-powered backfield that Boston has. Even if it ends up biting them in the butt, they want to focus and shut that point of the game down.
All right, West throwing, complete, no, yard loose. Great job of this Philadelphia defense, including Kev Say Jr., and that is where we will introduce them as they have themselves forced a 3 and out. Defensive tackle Michael Percoco, And defensive tackle Rose Steele, defensive end Don Rohr, and LJ Hobbs. The linebackers Nixon Cooper, Kwazine Yulia, Aaron Collins, and the cornerbacks Miranda Dumas, Eaton Moss, Kronk Worthy, and Kevsey Jr. at safeties. And that rounds out the Philadelphia defense. Now we got everybody squared away. Let's get back to some hard-hitting football here. Philadelphia will start the 34-yard line.
Now let's see if Philly wants to start with this high-powered run game again. Udon over 220 yards last week with 2 touchdowns. I think everybody, including Boston, expects him to get the main load.
Second drive of the evening for Skamizniak, and he goes down. Pressure immediately getting into the backfield by William Patterson of the Rebels.
William Patterson putting his second on the board for the season. This Boston defense is electric. This defensive line accumulated 4 sacks last week and already one for William Patterson in the second drive.
Boston defense showed last week they are nothing to sneeze at. Pressure coming. Skamizniak hit hard, and you can thank Baron Went for that.
Goodness. I mean, Boston again, so much pressure on the quarterback. Skamizniak barely had any time at all to make the read. You clearly saw with the throw out of sack, barely getting the ball away.
Big play coming up, third down, just wanting to advance and not able to do it. That throw was low and intended for number 44 of Philadelphia. That is Jonathan Kilgore, the tight end, and they will once again have to punt.
Yeah, Kilgore, just had just shy of 40 yards last week. Had a nice little game. Want to see the big tight end maybe get used a little more, standing at 6'6". He's a unit out there. Trying to go to him early just didn't work out.
Oh, fumble on the punt return. He coughs it up, and number 95 of the special teams unit for Philadelphia is able to wrangle it in, and Philadelphia gets a new lease on life.
Goodness gracious, what a shock. I was not expecting that. Boston loses the ball. Philadelphia forcing the fumble to put themselves in an even better position than they were previously. What a way to take advantage of a weakness there, clearly dropping the ball. What a play from Philly.
Philly and their all-new Otzi Watts coming out and looking threatening on that special teams unit, delivering the blows, puts them automatically in Boston territory here as we welcome you in a beautiful Fort Independence Stadium. Would you look at it, folks? Our first time getting to see this great venue. And for Boston right now, the home team, their backs are against the wall just a little bit. 2nd and 4 for Skamizniak and company. Toss play to the left side of Rashawn Williams. It goes for a couple, setting up 3rd and short here.
Rashawn Williams, the week 2 signing with the pitch there. You like to see him getting an early workload in this game, especially behind the SFL reinforcement, Frank Udon, who clearly had the best performance in week 1 out of all the running backs. No one better to learn from.
All right, Udon gets the carry again. He takes off, gets a good hustle about him, and gets the first down, extending this drive. Philadelphia now knows first couple of snaps certainly hasn't went their way, but they've been gifted incredible field position, and they need to make something of it.
Yeah, John Osmosis, you saw it highlighted there in the replay, laid a killer block on the blitzing linebacker, laid them on their back, giving Udon plenty of open room to run.
Fresh set it down as John Osmosis, the fullback, comes in with the carry. It's on him, who gets on him for the stop, gain of 1.
Yeah, this offensive line for Philadelphia has been doing a pretty good job so far, giving Udon and the rest of these backs plenty of room to run. But clearly you can see Boston loading up the box heavily. They're expecting a heavy run attack, as anyone would.
A little movement now by Boston. Philadelphia throws. The pass is complete for Jonathan Kilgore. Stays on his feet. Touchdown. Philadelphia. What an offensive series after being gifted with that turnover.
Wow, what a turnaround. The first drive, that drive right before this one ended with a Jonathan Kilgore incompletion in his vicinity. This drive ends with another John Kilgore pass, but this time catching it, breaking a tackle, and getting into the end zone for a Philadelphia Cougars touchdown.
Beyond impressive. And like we said, this is a team that, obviously this is one of the more established franchises there of the SFLm. And even though we've got new players obviously taking to the field, you can tell that there's a sense of seasoning there, especially how they were able to capitalize on that turnover in an 8-play, 37-yard drive that is capped off in a touchdown for the Cougars.
Yeah, for sure, Cameron. I mean, if you have a QB, there aren't too many QBs down here in the minors that have been here for long. Skamizniak is one of those guys leading this offense, and like you said perfectly, he is not going to let that opportunity slip through his fingers after a troubling first drive.
The Rebels get the football back again as Jacobs brings that one out. As Dakota West will get ready. And you know what? How deflating. Okay, you're a head coach. You've got Dakota West, a week 2 signing. They're in the pocket, down by 7 by no fault of their own. Didn't even get a chance to touch the field that last time, DJ. What do you tell your young QB?
Just got to keep your head in the game and do what they know he can do. Just got to keep the offense moving.
Oh, that's a nice pitch and catch. Oh, and dropped. It looked as if there was some room to roam there for the Boston Rebels. It is jarred loose, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the defender just able to knock it out from behind. That's a nice heads-up defensive play. It looked like a perfect pass. The receiver able to slip past the man coverage, but the corner was able to keep up and knock that one out.
In motion, Bismarck Wright. We know we'll hear from him. This is Churchill with the screen pass. Get some positive yards and a 3rd and manageable coming up.
Yeah, it seems like they've gone to that halfback little flat a few times now, and every time it gets that moderate gain that they might be looking for. It's a nice way to toss your running backs into the game, per se, without exactly giving them the ball.
Curtis Friesen in motion. Rolling out, West. Nice job finding the open field and finding Joey Hightower. We said they needed to make an answer here early, and they were able to do so on that drive.
Yeah, going to the new young rookie, the week 1 signing, Joey Hightower. And it looked like there was some pass rush there. Looked like there was a wide open lane to hit the QB, but that play action was clearly something to behold as the pass rusher went back to try and hit the running back, leaving Dakota West able to make that beautiful throw.
You got to imagine they'll go back to that well a couple more times before the day's over. West the throw over the head of anybody in that vicinity. Probably a good thing. Double coverage on Friesen, incomplete.
Yeah, I really like taking the risk there for them. Dakota West trying to get it over the top, just a little unable to get it into the hands of the receiver. But like I said, I really like taking the risk from them early.
2nd and 10. West, screen pass. Out in the flat. Churchill room to rumble. Spin move and a 1st down into the red zone. Good response by Boston. This is something we've seen out of them, if you remember, last week.
Yep, it was. Dakota West, I mean, that's one of the scenarios don't see too many lefties. Dakota West being one of them left their blind side completely open, and there was pressure. They were just able to get the ball out perfectly in time, hit the flat, and they had plenty of room to run after the catch.
Boston looking for their first victory of the season. Now, they played a good game last week against New York, a game we were fortunate enough to call, DJ, as that run goes for 3. One of the things that, as we kind of alluded to on that last point, if New York would score a touchdown, Boston could come right back down the field. They almost had the victory last week. But this is a resiliency by this young Rebels team that is impressive nonetheless. And on first or second down, rather, that's Churchill. They're going to mark him just short. But this guy right here, he reminds you kind of Ace Ketchum, wouldn't you say? I mean, rough and tumble, but now he can fight for a yard and he can turn on the Jets.
Oh, definitely. Just a speedy little cannonball out there, barreling over anyone in his path. I mean, we're clearly seeing that so far. I love the Ace Kessom analysis. I really do.
Oh, and look at this play. Pushing to the end zone. It's Lenore West as she breaks the goal line for the touchdown.
Lenore West, the week 2 signing, able to make it through. Great blocks up front from the Boston front. Able to break the tackle and barely get the ball over the line to make for the Boston touchdown.
Yeah, we're just getting introduced to Lenore West. 6 foot, 180 pounds. And I tell you what, she just had her own coming out party with SFLm Nation. Hello, welcome to the league with your first touchdown. Extra point is good. How cool is this? I mean, this league, I can't help but be excited about it, what we've got going on in Season 10. These young players that are coming out here a couple weeks into the season and just showing off. We seen that in the first game with a couple of players that we seen on the New York and San Jose side. Now this, with West and some of the others we've seen. Great stuff.
For sure, Cameron. And there's one thing I've always said, and I think is a pretty good way to look at it. There is a big difference when it comes to making a name for yourself and trying to prove who you are. Mm-hmm. Right? These SFL guys, we know who they are. We know what they can do, and they just got to put on the performances. Dakota West, Lenore West, Joey Hightower, Friesen, Rashawn Williams, all these rookies that have just signed, they're trying to prove who they are and what they can do on the football field.
We are in Fort Independence Stadium here in Boston for the first home game of the Boston Rebels. And they're putting on a clinic right now. This defense, Moss Booker there with the hit. I got to tell you, this Rebels team, we talked about it last week in our coverage, DJ, the fact that these linemen, especially here, they know how to hit for Boston.
Oh, they absolutely do. This defensive unit for Boston is something special.
There it is, again on display. Interception, Hudson Cruz. It's almost like you called it, DJ. Cruz is on cruise control. What a great pick.
Wow, what a play just as the word leaves my mouth. Special. Hudson Cruz with the interception, and that's exactly what you need if you are Boston. Get the ball back in the hands of your rookie quarterback, Dakota West, and let them prove what they can do.
And so now for Boston, who just tied it up, they've got a chance to go ahead. Dakota West throwing. That's going to be a screen set up to Churchill. Turns upfield, gets a couple. We are quickly coming to the end here of this first quarter. Again, excitement. If you had a chance to join us, 14-10 was the score in the first game as New York improved to 2-0. Now, looks like we're set up for another great game here between these two.
Absolutely looks like it so far, Cameron.
2nd and 8. West, screen pass again. They love the screen pass. Why not? Look at this move big for Bismarck Wright. A 1st and 10. And until Philadelphia can stop that, there's no need to go away from it.
Yeah, I mean, Boston does a great job of running it. They really do. More often than not, Philadelphia just has a single corner to that outside, and they'll have one receiver out there just run straight. That corner will come off, and the flat will be perfectly open to run it for a nice gain, and we just saw it again there.
We see motion from Curtis Friesen. West throwing quickly, and a quick 5 yards gain by number 86 of the Rebels.
Wow, I love that play call. Having the motion come out to help distract the corners on the play and just throw the quick route to your receiver. And that's just an automatic gain of 5 and a great pass by Dakota West.
Handoff, Churchill. Why not?
Oh.
Touchdown. Boston coming back with a ground game that would make anybody envious.
Wow, Mike Churchill able to get in the end zone after the huge run. Look at 24 Bismarck Wright leading the way. It's like having a big bodyguard right in front of you, protecting you from enemy lines. An easy touchdown for this Boston offense after the huge defensive turnover.
Boston has now turned on the Jets. Got their rushing game going here, and the extra point is good. Taking a lead after a 4-play, 36-yard drive. They lead 14-7 with 1:02 remaining in the first. Folks, we want to remind you, if you haven't had the opportunity to, please smash that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Share with your friends, if you will, all over social media. Say, hey, listen, I'm spending a fantastic Thursday night right here in SFLm Nation. We would appreciate it if you did. Shelton with a return out to the 26-yard line for Philadelphia in their icy white uniforms. They need to respond.
Yeah, Jamar Shelton, in week 2 signing there, getting some work in the return game. And that's another place that people make a name for themselves, especially on special teams. I mean, we saw it earlier with the fumble. Special teams can make or break a game.
Skomizniak under center. I think that play clock wind down to 7 before snapping it. Udon still on his feet. There's somebody who says, you know what? Yeah, you got some good running backs on the other side of the field, but hey, I can carry the mail as well, as they might say.
Yeah, I mean, just a pair of dominant runners in back-to-back runs. Churchill had that beautiful run, almost going untouched into the end zone, and you can attribute that to the whole team. And then Frank Udon comes out and barrels over multiple defenders. Just a powerful run.
Half a minute remaining in this first stanza. Ground game, though, going nowhere that time. Boston's Morgan Brown said, I've had enough of that already. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, Morgan Brown has been doing a great job. It seems almost every time there's a tackle at the line of scrimmage, I look up and I see that 53 in the hole making that play.
2 receivers to the top side for Skomizniak. We'll get one more play off before the break.
Ooh.
In our quarter ending here. Actually, we'll get one more after that. So 3rd and 10, and we'll get to catch our breath just momentarily.
Yeah, May West hitting the quarterback as Mike got rid of it. May West had a sack last week. Almost had another there, barely getting the ball out. Definitely impacted the throw, though.
Sure did. 3rd and 10. Listen to this home crowd. Oh. And incomplete. Skomizniak not able to connect with Jamar Shelton, who is a week 2 signing. That brings us to the end of quarter number 1. We will reset. Boston leads Philadelphia 14-7. You're watching the SFLm, the Virtual Football Network. Don't go anywhere. Cameron Duty here with DJ Kilgannon, Alex West at SFLm headquarters. Philadelphia at punt, finding themselves struggling now to get this offense going after a good early first drive set up by good field position. Flag on the play on this return as it's brought out by Churchill. Clipping.
Clipping going to be the call.
Yup, against Boston's number 98 as we look on our roster sheet. That is Baron Went.
Yeah, it is. Let's see this here. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it. Not much of a block, I'll say. Pushing the defender right into the runner.
Just the smallest of hesitation allowed the defender to get in front of him. A little bit of extracurricular activity there.
Yeah, it happens.
So Boston will start from their 15-yard line. Dakota West under center. Handoff to Churchill, who not able to go anywhere that time, thanks to Hobbs, who come up and put a good tackle on.
Yeah, met a wall of ice there. Not much room to run at all. Had the shoulder in the back of the offensive lineman, just nowhere to go. There were white jerseys everywhere on that one.
We credit him with 1 yard gain. Toss play, though. This one looks a little more promising for Lenore West. Well, we know what Lenore can do. Gain of 9. They're going to say just short of the first down here.
Yeah, that's a nice block there from Curtis Friesen, the week 1
yeah.
signing, and making another.
2.
Wow. Yeah, that's just a great all-around play there from Friesen. Making the first block, giving Lenore enough time to make sure she gets around it, and then going out in front of her and making another one.
Toss play to Churchill. Stood up. No, they're going to say forward progress gets just enough for the first down.
Yeah, they're really liking going to this pitch play so far, and for good reason. They're doing a great job of running it so far. Count that to the great running back room they have, great blocking from the O-line and the receivers, as we saw earlier.
Motion from Friesen again. West to throw with pressure in their face. They drop it off to Lenore West. A west-to-west connection. That's becoming the theme around the SFLm. We had Goodman to Goodman versus Goodman in the first game. Now we got a couple of West out there going places.
Yeah, a couple of Wests. I mean, just such a tight-knit community as the SFLm, and that is one thing I love so much about it. And you got the Onums on defense. How could we forget Landon and Duncan?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Good catch there as well, my friend. And May West as well on defense. We're having some fun here, loving this Thursday night in the SFLm world. Again, we thank you for being with us. Hand off to Churchill, who pushes the pile forward as only he can for a gain of 3. Second down.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a little bit of miscommunication from the backup fullback. Looked like kind of got behind the runner. Maybe thought a different play was coming than it was, but not much to gain there. Now let's see what they can do. Giving second manageable.
Toss play left side. That is West once more on the carry. She gets close. It's going to set up a 3rd and short. And I tell you what, with this ground attack, you've got to believe the odds may be on their favor.
Yeah, definitely. They have a nice group back there. And I wanted to point out, Lenore West, she's only 6 foot, 180 pounds, but she is running like she is much bigger.
Oh, and look at Churchill. Until Philadelphia can figure out a way to stop this, let's just go ahead and say it, 3-headed tandem back there, it's going to be a long evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just going to be rough. And like I said earlier, the Philly defense focused on stopping that run game. They wanted to make a point to stop it. And whatever they cooked up is not working yet so far. Hopefully they can get it together and shut down this running attack going forward for Boston.
Friesen in motion. You know somebody whose name is Friesen, they don't like to keep him still very long.
I'd imagine not.
A handoff to Bismarck Wright, who gets 3 on that carry. And you just kind of feel like Boston playing their own game right now, eating the clock, managing the time of possession, playing into their favor.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is a great thing to do if you have a new rookie quarterback coming in. A playbook that's run heavy definitely wouldn't hurt build confidence.
Oh, Churchill. Oh, my goodness. He calls him to juke out of his shoes. Is he going to get to the end zone? Oh, he's just short. 1st and goal. Churchill. Oh, he could smell the end zone.
Goodness gracious. What a move there. You said it best, Cam. Juked a defender out of their shoes. Mike Churchill juked that defender so hard, sent him to church. Whoop! Just right out of the way, right on cue. So close to the touchdown was Churchill.
Kev Say Jr., who just about had to have a double ankle replacement there.
Goodness.
Just short of the end zone. 1st and goal. Boston threatening here in this ball game where we got about a half of a quarter remaining here in the first half. Oh, West throwing. Oh, a complete touchdown. They're going to say that West was able to get it across. That's Django West. Another west-to-west connection for Boston.
Yeah, definitely looked close, but the call on the field is that Django was in right on the cross route. Oh, yeah, I think that's the right call. Dakota West trusting the big tight end there, throws it in coverage, able to hold on to it, taking a 2-score lead against Philadelphia.
The extra point attempt is good. And a 2-score lead now for Boston over Philadelphia. They had the one hiccup very early on that allowed Philadelphia to get on the board with that punt return fumble. Other than that, it's smooth sailing for these Rebels.
And that drive started out with the Barron Went clipping call, giving Boston an 87-yard drive, able to take it to the house on the back. I think you said it perfectly earlier, Cameron. The three-headed monster that they have in the backfield.
I'm telling you, it's like it's very intimidating for a team to have to go against that. There's a fresh set of legs literally every play that you have to watch out for. And not only that, you've got people like Curtis Friesen and Bismarck Wright. If they don't have the football in their hands, they're throwing some great blocks right now.
They absolutely are.
Motion for Philadelphia. Jonathan Kilgore, whose name's already been called a couple of times in this game.
Ooh.
And a tackle immediately at the line of scrimmage that time by Boston, not allowing Frank Udon to get anywhere.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what you want to do against this Philadelphia rushing attack. Both of these teams clearly having great rushing attacks. Boston right now just doing a better job with it.
They'll give it to Udon once more, who gets a little bit better, but that still sets up a 3rd and 6, and it goes without saying here, but Skamizniak really needs to come up with something good here on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, definitely. Decent amount of yards to gain. You imagine the ball's going to go through the air here. Let's hope they can get the first down.
Rolling out is Mike Skamizniak. Plenty of time. Throwing back across.
Ooh.
And it's incomplete. Again, good coverage downfield by the Rebels. And Donde Talacarne, the strong safety.
Yeah, just a great defensive play there. Some nice pressure on the quarterback. Thankfully for Mike Skamizniak, Rashawn Williams was in there, able to make the block on the incoming rusher. But Dondas Talacarne said it doesn't matter, in the perfect place, right where that ball was going, swatting it away.
Good punt here. Boston will have a chance to return it with Churchill. Oh, watch out. Crossing the 40 to the 45-yard line. Churchill can do a little bit of everything.
Absolutely can. He's just putting on a performance tonight. Last week had 64 all-purpose yards on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm sure he's already past that.
You know, there's this sense, DJ, and we felt it in the first game we called, where there was a moment where it almost felt like for San Jose, the game almost got away from them. It was a very late second half play that kept them in this game. You feel like Philadelphia really needs that to happen for them right here. Is Churchill again with a first down.
Just another one going out to the flat. They love using their backs in the passing game. We've seen it all night, and they run it so well. Having that distraction receiver on that side to open up the flat for Mike Churchill perfectly. And they're just going to keep feeding that monster in the backfield until Philadelphia puts a stop to it, which right now doesn't look like they can.
Yeah, I mean, how's the saying go? If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
1st and 10 into Philadelphia territory here is Boston. That goes nowhere. A good job of picking up that by, I believe that was number 53. Is that right?
Yep, I do believe so. Aaron Collins on the stop there. I did want to point something out. Aaron Collins, the newest SFLm rookie on this Philadelphia team, but also led the team in tackles last week.
Churchill. I'm sorry to interrupt you, DJ. I thought for sure that was stopped for a loss, but he just kept going.
Oh, Cameron, be my guest. If you didn't interrupt me, I was going to interrupt myself. What a run. Goodness, just such tough, physical running by this entire running back room, and it is so electric to watch. If you haven't hit the like button yet, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, now's the perfect time, that's for sure. Closing in on 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Philadelphia's got to be feeling gas-strapped. Oh, there it is, the play we just talked about.
Goodness.
Eaton Moss in on that one, as well as there's Aaron Collins again.
Yep. Yeah, Cameron the Nostradamus. Just calling it like he sees it to perfection. Aaron Collins knocking the ball out right into the hands of another Cougar. I mean, Cameron, you said it best. That is the play Philadelphia was looking for in what we just talked about.
Yeah, I mean, because we kind of seen it in that first game, that it swings the momentum and gives them a kind of a really almost a new lease on life. We'll see if they can capitalize here. Right now, though, Frank Udon not able to go anywhere, and that really has been the struggle so far.
Definitely has. I mean, like you said, I don't know about you. After that long plane ride, now I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. Seeing that play happen right after you say it just bring me back to that last game. Very similar feeling.
If you weren't able to be with us in game one, you certainly missed a good defensive battle. Went right to the end, 14-10 being the final score, with New York over San Jose. Philadelphia now taking their time, letting the play clock wind down to 5 before snapping with Skamizniak, who throws. Oh, and he had Toby Bonnet's. Been kind of the story of the night thus far, though, is that their offense has just not been able to get in a groove.
Yeah, and you can account that to this Boston Rebels defense. That first game, it was the defensive pressure they had all night, and it's still that. Mike Skamizniak barely has any time to throw, but this defensive back unit for Boston has looked sensational, barely letting any passes go through.
Goosebusters in motion, lines up to the right side of Skamizniak for a big 3rd and 9 here. Throwing, incomplete, almost intercepted. And just a good job once again by Boston. I mean, you know, it goes back to it, DJ. The fact is they're not letting anything get by them right now.
Yep. I mean, when you're working this well together as a unit, there's not much you can do if you're an offense to stop it. Mike Skamizniak had a defensive tackle in his face within 3 seconds of the hike. You have to get rid of the ball regardless of the coverage. Getting rid of the ball is better than a sack.
Oh, and we got an injured player on the field. Unfortunately, that is Armstead, the outside linebacker, one of the players that you'll see come in on the special teams unit for Boston. So unfortunate for him as his team trots back out onto the field. We'll certainly wish him the best of a speedy recovery. Good field position again here, DJ.
Definitely. Boston has had great field position.
Go to West to Churchill. Have we seen this one before? We have. He followed up with the little shimmy and shake, but Barber able to do a good job on defense there and shut that one down. And guess what? 2-minute warning. That second quarter really flown by. A lot of ground game, a lot of eating up the clock. And you are here in Boston watching the Rebels lead the Philadelphia Cougars. You're watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Camera duty here with DJ Kilgannon and Alex West back at headquarters. Screen pass again, and it's Churchill again. And I'm going to go ahead and say it for Philadelphia. You know they want nothing more than to get to that locker room and make some adjustments here.
Absolutely. You have to. You do not have another choice if you want to stick into this game. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. That play is just money for them. I mean, anytime you are Philadelphia, you've got to talk about it in the half. They always have one receiver to one side. They have a lineman drop to the outside to help cover, and Mike Churchill runs to that side wide open for the flat. You have to adjust to that.
A good job that time, as it was West on the carry. Lenore West, who has a touchdown already today, her first in her first game. Think about that. Week 2 signing already has found the end zone. Got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just a great start to your career from her, and just what a way to make a name for yourself in such a loaded backfield.
And the rest of the league's thinking as if they need another good halfback. Complete freezing. There's nobody in front. He will walk into the end zone for a touchdown and extend it to a 3-score game. What happened there, DJ?
Honestly, that was just such a lapse. And I think it has to have something to do with, I mean, they brought everyone. You could see it there on the replay. Every single defender ran towards the line of scrimmage. Dakota West, they were just able to keep their composure, see every defender in a wide mile radius run at them, and they said, hey, you're leaving my rookie receiver wide open. Curtis Friesen able to keep his feet in bounds and make it into the end zone.
The extra point is good, and maybe one of the things to point out about that, DJ, is the fact that once the camera angle, once it got past the line of scrimmage, we never seen the Philadelphia defense again.
No, not once. And when it turned around, after Curtis Friesen scored, the closest defender was the defensive tackle Rose Steele. You just cannot let something like that happen.
Now for Philadelphia, with a little bit of time left on the clock, they desperately need to get a score, get a good return, get some good momentum here. They've got 66 seconds to do it before the halftime break.
Yeah, you just got a little bit of time. But I think you're right. I think they have to go for it. Already down by 3 scores going into the half, you need something to happen. If you let Boston go into the halftime break with as much momentum as they have right now, you might as well not come back out of the tunnel.
Well, who would have expected this? I mean, the way that the first quarter went, it has been a field day this second quarter for Boston.
Absolutely has.
For Philadelphia, they send Goosebusters in motion. Skamizniak lets the clock wind down to 3, 2, snaps it. Going to throw off target today. It's just been that kind of day, again, at the shoes of Kilgore.
Yeah, just another example where you don't have much time, causing an inaccurate throw from Mike Skamizniak. I mean, if you're Dondas Talakarn and you're the strong safety, and defensive coordinator for this Boston team, you've got to be patting yourself on the back right now.
Oh, you couldn't feel much better. Buster's in motion again, 2nd and 8. Rolling out is Skamizniak. He's going to look. Deep flag on the play. Falls incomplete. We'll see what the ref says here. An eligible receiver downfield for Philadelphia. Oh, that is Leo Chang, who got way too far downfield, and Philadelphia will pay the price. It just goes from bad to worse for the Cougars at this moment.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Had such good pass protection there for Skamizniak, one of the first times all game. But you see, clearly it didn't matter getting the penalty.
Throwing complete, but not much there. Short gain on 2nd down. You got to imagine right here, backs against the wall, yes, but you almost kind of expect them to try to drain this clock.
Yeah, I think you're right, Cameron.
You don't want Boston to get this ball back with any time left.
Absolutely not.
3rd and 13. We will see Skamizniak throw. Pump fake. Steps up to run. Gonna get the first. No, he's short. A yard short. Instead of going head first, he slid. And it's 4th and 1, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so close. Mike Skamizniak with the pump fake, turning the attention of the defense the other way, scrambling, almost getting the first down. Looks like they're going to punt. You know, I think I would have liked to see a Boston timeout as Skamizniak went down. Maybe try and get something going the other way, because if you get more points going into that half, that would have been huge, but just going to let the time dwindle down.
And that'll do it for a dominating second quarter. Boston turns on the steam, turns on the speed, lets their three halfbacks go wild on this Philadelphia defense. And that's why you've got a 20-7 score. We welcome you into the SFLm halftime report here on YouTube on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty with DJ Kilgannon. DJ, give me your thoughts. We've went over it quite a bit. Look at that. Skamizniak 2 of 12. And you know, just lack of productivity for Philadelphia here.
Yeah, it's just so hard to believe that the Philadelphia Cougars of last week, with such the dominant performance that they have, are getting the score flipped on them right now. The score line right now is almost exactly what Philadelphia was able to put on San Jose last week, and now Boston is doing it to them, led by their three-headed monster in the backfield.
And with that, we welcome you back to the start of the second half here inside the beautiful Fort Independence Stadium. Talk about a debut, right? The Boston Rebels, their first game at home, leading 28-7. We thank you and yours hanging out here with us on this Thursday night. Wherever you're at, maybe you've got snow, maybe wherever you're watching from, winter weather maybe got you down. Hopefully we can heat up your evening with some great SFL football. And the fact is, if you're a Boston Rebels fan, you got a lot to be excited about tonight. This game is not over. Philadelphia's got to come out here, DJ, make a big-time stop, get them off of the field quickly, and see if they can turn things around.
Definitely, Cameron. If you're Philadelphia, especially with Boston getting the ball to start the half, you have to make a big play on defense.
And if you're Philadelphia, you got to keep your foot on the gas from here on out every time you get the football. Churchill not able to do nothing on that carry. They will give him forward progress for one before being brought down by Eaton Moss.
Yeah, just swallowing up the runner there. That's a nice start if you're Philadelphia. Holding them to just a short run, you just got to keep that going.
2nd and 9. They give it back to Churchill, who does a good job getting a few more, making it 3rd and 6. And this really has been the problem for Philadelphia. They'll get them in a 3rd down, but they cannot get them off the field.
Yeah, it's just tough. You can play 2 great downs of football just for the other side to get just a great play to give themselves just more opportunities. And we've seen that all night.
Big 3rd and 6 here for this Philadelphia defense. Pressure coming around the edges, but West stands in there and delivers a strike to Curtis Friesen. Who else? And the drive will continue.
Yeah, you said it best right before that play. Holding them on 2 good plays, then letting up the first. That was such a good throw by Dakota West right in between the defenders. I think it was, Eaton Moss able to get the tackle there, not after the big reception from Curtis Friesen.
They go to West with pressure right in their face. They dump it off to Churchill. There's the dreaded screen pass that everybody in Philadelphia right now hates to see.
Yeah, I mean, they're just itching at their skin. And something I said before the half was you have to adjust to that. You have to. And right now, Michael Churchill, we just saw it there, 7 times targeted, 7 catches for 60 yards. That just shows how dominant that play is.
What a great first day for Dakota West. And speaking of, Lenore West getting the first down as well.
Yeah, a great day for her as well. A great first game for both of them.
And Philadelphia, yeah, challenging the spot of the ball. And I have to wonder at this point, DJ, at this point, I think they just want to try to get anything positive. And if they can stop them behind the line, push them back, make them lose a down instead of getting a first, that would be a victory right now. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the call is actually going to go in their way.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I think he was behind the line of scrimmage, but is it worth the risk? Because if you don't get that, you lose a timeout, which could be crucial with how down they are in the game.
And it's overturned, so Philadelphia will not lose their timeout. Aaron Collins comes up with the stop. And that's just my observation from the outside. It felt like, the coach knows, hey, let's get something positive here.
Yeah, something. I mean, just something for your guys to be happy about. But now, Philadelphia, you have to stop. You can see Mike Churchill and Bismarck right in the backfield loading up the box. You have to stop them.
They know it's coming. Can they stop it? No. And it's Churchill for the first down, crossing the 35, getting ever so close to the Philadelphia 30, continuing to run it down the Cougars' throat.
Yeah, all game, more and more. Churchill just breaking over the century mark. And we saw he has 60 yards in the air. So 161 yards roundabout this game.
And West, again with another great carry, 8 yards. When you can get 8 yards on a run, on first down, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just it's the perfect way to take control of that set of possessions and dominate it. A powerful run, long run, to bring it into second and short. If you can get a long run, how are you not going to be able to get a short one?
Mike Klenect in motion.
Yep.
And Churchill with another carry.
Automatic.
Just like that. And you see the frustration for Philadelphia at the moment as you get a shot there of one of their defensive players just kind of throwing up hands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. It's just looking rough right now. It's a defensive catastrophe right now from Philadelphia on all ends. Just got to hang in there. This might be that flat look that we've been seeing.
Chewing up clock here as well. Another thing that Boston able to do here on this drive is Friesen goes in motion. West looking to throw and just does the smart thing. And I tell you what, let's credit Dakota West for making smart decisions the entire game.
Has really done a good job, especially in their first game. You saw the pressure coming from the left side of the line. Dakota West scrambling to the right side of the line, waiting for Curtis Friesen to get across the field in the area of the ball and throw it away.
6:22 remaining in this third quarter. Dakota West stepping up, kind of drops it off there to Churchill. And that would be the break Philadelphia is looking for here. Forces them into a 3rd and 10. They can get them off the field here with anything less than a touchdown. You got to consider that a feather in the cap, honestly.
Yeah, a little non-designed shovel pass there.
Here we go. Throwing to the end zone and incomplete. The defense able to force them off the field. It's a nice job downfield that time by Cronkworthy and a rare incompletion by West.
Yeah, a very rare one. Almost picked off. The Chicago safety Cronkworthy able to get his hands on it. Unfortunately, not able to bring it in. And like you said, that is a rare incompletion tonight from Dakota West. Has been dang near perfect. But I really like the play call there, trying to get 7 on the board. But 3 points, if they can make the extra point, definitely wouldn't hurt.
31-yard attempt is good. They extend their lead. So for Philadelphia, now you've got 5:53 left in the third. Hope is not lost as long as there's time on the clock. Anything can happen. They just have to come out here and honestly and truly be a totally different team than what we've seen that second quarter. That really did hurt them. But if they can do that, if they can keep their foot on the gas, move the ball down the field, puts up some points, hey, you got to start with one drive and one play, and right now is the perfect time to start.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Cameron. You can't come back in this ball game without one positive drive.
There's some positive. Great kick return. Still on his feet, Jamar Shelton moving across midfield, and there you go. Right past the midfield stripe to the Boston 48. That was impressive.
Goodness, I don't think I've ever seen someone that big get so shifty. Jamar Shelton, 6'6", looking like a ballerina on the sideline. One spin, slipping past defenders on a tightrope that is the sideline, getting almost right at midfield. That's a great start. And if my memory isn't mistaking me, this is going to be one of the better field positions Philadelphia's had all night.
It certainly is. 1st and 10, 5:44 remaining in the third. If you're new to this SFLm experience, hang on just a moment. We'll let you know how to get involved in the action after this play. Skamizniak keeping it on the ground on 1st down to Udon, who gets about to. So, folks, if you are new to the SFLm, welcome. Simulation football is football for everyone. And we invite you to get off the sidelines. You can create your own player. That is right. You can create your own player by joining our Discord server, going to simfl.net. It'll teach you every way, every step that you need in order to make that dream of yours playing football a reality. CMFL.net, we invite you to check it out, because you can find yourself on a football field. We'll be calling your number and name very soon. Philadelphia not able to do nothing on that when Rashawn Williams, the week 2 signing, goes backwards.
Yeah, get your name called just like Duncan Onum, who made the big stop there on the run. Onum had a great game last week and is bringing it into this week clearly with another great stop.
Skamizniak gonna throw, has to unload, complete. One of the best throws of the night as he finds Toby Bonnets for the first.
There we go. Toby Bonnets, we've been looking for that connection. Finally able to match it over the middle of the field. Just caught right before the defender. That's a great coverage there by the Cruz missile. Hudson Cruz just not able to hit the ball out. That's just a great pitch and catch.
Not a good job by Bonnet. Yeah, cutting inside.
Oh, yeah.
And his body turned to inside to where only he could catch that. Skamizniak intercepted. That one stayed up in the air too long, and Jimmy Hatsis gets the INT.
Goodness gracious. The Boston Rebels defense doing it again. William Patterson looking like a setter in volleyball, tipping it up perfectly for Jimmy Hatsis to pick it off. And that's gotta hurt if you are the Cougars. That was looking like one of their best drives all game just to get cut short.
23-yard line for the Boston Rebels now. Incredible defense all the way around. 4:16 remaining in this third quarter. And pushing the pile is Churchill. Defense able to get home there, just a gain of 2.
Yeah, not a huge gain there, but all night we have seen it from them. Things work out, whether it's the pitch, whether it's that inside handoff to Churchill, whether it's that flat pass, or whether it's over the middle to Friesen. They will find a way to make a play.
Giving it back to Churchill here, and why would you not? Great job.
Yeah, they go up the hill again, give it to Churchill, and another gain, bringing it to 3rd and 5.
115 yards. Yeah, you read my mind, DJ. Yeah, that jumped out to you as well. 3rd and 5 here. West will throw. Plenty of time. Going to get away from the pressure.
Oh.
And just incomplete. And that's a good job downfield by Philadelphia. They may be down 31-7, but I believe that we can focus on positives. That coverage downfield, when West had all the time in the world to find somebody, that's some good defense.
Yeah, that's just great man coverage there. And Friesen, even who the ball went to, was covered very well. You've seen Dakota West go to Friesen's way a lot. Just great coverage there from the Philadelphia defense.
Yeah, and you got to give this Philadelphia defense credit. They have stepped up their game. They made the adjustments they needed this second half. I mean, they honestly did. It's been different. That second quarter got them back in a hole. But up to this point, we are about 7 minutes into this third quarter. They've only allowed a field goal.
Yeah, they've done a great job adjusting, but you've got to wonder, is it too little, too late?
We know that They'll definitely be primed to try to put some points on the board here, starting with this run from scrimmage. And credit to this Boston defense. My goodness, their ground attack, which is, with Frank Udon, it's an impressive one at that. We've seen Udon have some big games in the past, but they have not been able to move the ball at all thanks to this Boston defense.
Yeah, it really is an unstoppable force in Frank Udon versus an immovable object in this Boston Rebels front seven. And clearly, the front seven of Boston is taking control of this game.
The new week 2 signing, Rashawn Williams, there gets a couple, brings up 3rd and 8. 2:30 remaining here in the third. Two receivers to either side of Skamizniak. And throwing on 3rd and finding his man. There you go. Toby Bonnets again with a good reception on 3rd down. Getting put it this way, DJ, something's finally cooking here for Philadelphia on offense.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we wanted to talk about adjustments when it comes to halftime in that last drive. Clearly, they have made some. The defense is looking better. We were not seeing those sort of offensive plays in the first half from this Philadelphia team. We were not seeing well-sustained drives, and now we are.
Udon fighting towards the line of scrimmage there. He gets a shot by Talakarn.
Yeah, Dondas Talakarn able to make the tackle just after a short run. Had 6 tackles last week, 6'2", right short of 210. He's just a unit. This safety squad for Boston is great in the run.
Udon with a much better run this time. He'll get close to the first at a 3rd and 3. So moving their way for just the second time close to red zone coverage, red zone field, I should say, territory is Philadelphia.
Yeah, now Philadelphia might get some deja vu now. When they were in this part of the field last time, they did throw an interception. Let's just hope they can't do that again and get the ball into the end zone.
Oh, and deflected at the line. Skamizniak wasn't for sure if that one actually was an incomplete pass. He falls on it, and that will be the end of the drive. 4th and 3 coming up. So a field goal attempt certainly, you would think, is in the works here. No, they'll have to punt.
Wow.
Now, folks, do not forget that for Philadelphia, they do not have a contracted kicker, thus being the reason you're seeing the punt here, and they will be Boston back. You got to credit May West. Yeah, at the 1. That's an incredible job right there. May West with that deflection that ended that drive. And I tell you what, man, that's a heartbreaker for Philadelphia not having the contracted kicker to go for the field goal to put some points on the board. But here is a chance, if you ever had one, for the Philadelphia defense to make a big play tonight. And Churchill runs right through, still on his feet, pushes them out from the 1 out to about, I think they're going to put him at about the 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. I mean, think about it this way. This Boston 3-headed backfield has done great all night. And with their backs against the wall, I wouldn't expect anything less. It would be tough right there for Philadelphia to take advantage of that.
West again with a carry. Lenore West. Again, a week 2 signing. Great job by both Dakota and Lenore West. Both week 2 signings, and have came out and let's just say they've balled out today. As that gets us to the end of the 3rd quarter, the game right now feels really in hand. Boston leads 31-7, but don't go anywhere. We still got a quarter of football to go, and it's been a fun night. You're watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty here with my partner, DJ Kilgannon. We've jet set all across the United States this evening for SFLm football. We've had a good time at it too. And Alex West, thank you for all your work back at SFLm headquarters. And the Philadelphia defense on 3rd down makes a stop. And again, back to the point that I was making on that last series, they've certainly not allowed the offensive production by Boston this second half that they had in, quite honestly, 1 quarter in that 2nd quarter.
Yeah, definitely. They've done a way better job at stopping it, like you said. And I mean, if they're able to make a comeback now, that is going to be the reason why. But if they are, it is going to be tough.
Really good field position here for Philadelphia. They were able to take care of business, honestly, on defense, able to get themselves some good field position starting from Boston's own 46-yard line. Hand off to Udon, running with some room to grow there, and he takes a shot after a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, we know this Philadelphia Cougars offense wants to rely on that run, but you got to remember you are down 24 points with 9 minutes left. If you want to come back into this game, you're going to have to maybe spread the rock out with the pass.
Yeah, they've been very, very run heavy today. May West again on the stop, having a great day. 3rd and 6 coming up. So there's something to it. We have decided for New York, it's the Goodman connection. For Boston, it's the West connection. Now I'm telling you what, the firepower that this bunch has around here on these two teams, it's incredible, and it's proved well for both squads. Throwing now, Skamizniak incomplete. I gotta think you gotta think about going for it here, don't you? 4th down.
Oh, absolutely. I would imagine so. If they don't, it's almost a nail in the coffin. It feels like definitely still time, but I think you almost got to, and they don't.
Punt it away, try to pin Boston deep.
We said it. They've been doing a better job when it comes to stopping this Boston offense. But I mean, to me, just with how well they've ran the ball, it seems silly to give them the ball back. Just let them drain more time off the clock. Because right now, if you're Philadelphia, you want all the time in the world to get these 24 points back.
Oh, for sure. Folks, looking ahead, we'll look ahead to week 3 of the SFLm. That's coming your way January the 30th. After this play, we'll take a look at the 2 games that's going to be on tap for you. West to throw to Churchill, spin move, get the gain of 8 on 1st down. Coming up January the 30th, 2025 at 6 o'clock, these very Boston Rebels that you see, they're going to travel to San Jose for a matchup against the Flight later on at 8:30 that evening on January the 30th. The New York Gargoyles will face off against the Philadelphia Cougars. So all of that action will be found right here on the Virtual Football Network on YouTube. And to be honest with it, regarding this, DJ, great football all the way around tonight. I'm excited for each and every week that we get to call these football games in this league. Some great action out there.
Oh, absolutely. It's really refreshing to see some brand new teams, some brand new players, and what they can bring to the table.
Keeping the drive alive is Churchill, and now the name of the game is to just run the clock.
Yep, that's all you got to do right now if you're Boston. Just chip and chip and chip away at the clock. And from what we've seen all day, that is what they do best.
And I got to say, and I mean this fully, that 7 minutes for the type of drives that Boston can put together, sometimes is nothing there as West gets the carry and a gain of 3.
Yeah, I mean, the last drive they had, it was a 4-minute drive, I believe, their last biggest drive. And like you said, 7 minutes is nothing. They can easily cut that in half or more.
They sure can. And folks, we also want to remind you, and we will just after this play here, good defensive stop that time by Philadelphia and number 56, L.J. Hobbs. But we also want to remind you that coming up, SFL action taking place Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and into the Monday Night Spectacular. All kinds of games. Of course, it all starts Friday at 7:15 with the Matt Wilson SFL kickoff show. After that, you'll see Chicago at Minnesota at 8, and at 8:15, the Los Angeles Lycans travel to face the DC Dragons. And look at Dakota West showing that footwork as well.
Yeah, they're getting shifty out there. If the backs aren't going to chip away at the clock, Dakota West might as well do it, scrambling for a nice gain before dropping down, just getting touched by the falling defenders around them. That's a great run there to control this possession.
Churchill, and he's got this Philadelphia defense just gassed.
Yep. I mean, it's got to be tough on this defense. Just run after run after run. I'm sure they're tired out there. And then there's something I just noticed. Dakota West is a absolute unit, Cameron. 6'8". That quarterback is the largest in terms of height player on this entire Rebels team.
Yeah, that's a good point indeed, as West gets the first down. Get out there.
Imagine seeing that run at you.
Yeah, goodness gracious. No, thank you.
Gosh. This might be that flat they've gone to. No.
Oh, Churchill breaking free. Look at this. He will not be denied. Gets it into red zone territory.
No, they don't need that flat when they're getting first downs at will. Another easy run up the middle. And it's just seeming to me that what Philadelphia did last week to San Jose, Boston is now doing to them. Mike Churchill is running like it's a track meet, and there is no looking back for this Boston offense.
In motion here, the Boston Rebels. Number 40 checking into the game. 4:20 remaining in regulation with the carry. DJ, I have to direct our attention. I'm getting word here in my headset that there is a deep desire, a need, maybe even the better word for it, for the Wildcat to be taking place here on the football field of the SFL. I have been able to take a look at our great chat, a lively chat, and it looks as if one of our YouTube contributors, John, has mentioned that he has a dream that the Wildcat going to be running. Now, have you ever heard such?
You know, I haven't, but I would not be opposed to seeing it. Not at all.
John keeping the chat lively here. We've got some great feedback going on as well. Hudson Cruz in there says we need an announcer monologue of the Wildcat story. 100 years later, the running back lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. He's languished in the corners of foosball society and finds himself in exile in his own land. There you go. There's that monologue. As good as I can do it. Now, I don't know if I'll ever get the Wildcat running here on the football field of the SFLm, but at least you've got that monologue. And I thank y'all for the likes and the laughing emojis and the hearts. Let me see if I can see a heart emoji or two on that one. The Wildcat story as narrated by Cameron Duty here in the SFLm as we look back at the game, 1st and goal with 2:33 remaining.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron, I might need a tissue. That dang near brought a tear to my eye.
It's really got the setup for a motion picture event, if you want to be honest. Look at Churchill. As if he hasn't done enough. Once you get up, get the crowd into it, he's having fun at home, diving into the end zone for the touchdown.
Such a showman. Look at Mike Churchill go, celebrating with his teammates. There was all the room in the world to run. Didn't need to dive. He dove. This is the SFLm. We're here to have fun, and that's exactly what we're doing. Mike Churchill with the touchdown.
And with that, they're able to extend the lead. Extra point is good. 38-7, 2:19 remaining in this ball game. And I tell you what, folks, I hope you've had just as much fun as we have. It's been a good evening of football, like we said, having a chance to call the first game, and then of course back right here in Boston. A big hit by the Boston Rebels, and they've got everybody on alert after watching this offense literally run down the field.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to take note of it for sure. Just such a dominant performance. Just took this game by the hair and completely controlled it all the way through.
Now for Philadelphia, we want to emphasize them here as they want to put some more points on the board. They have been shut out since the very early portion of the first quarter. Udon getting some work out of the backfield there as a receiver.
Yeah, now they're into hurry up. Going quick now.
Oh, incomplete. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. Good job on the defense right there. Folks, hang on to your hats. We may even tell some more stories in the group chat. Who knows? 2 minutes remaining. Boston leads Philadelphia. You're watching the SFLm on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty here with DJ Kilgannon and Alex West at SFL headquarters. Throwing incomplete, bringing up 3rd and 10. And you know that's kind of a last gasp effort for Philadelphia there to get the ball down the field. A couple more attempts at it with 1:56 to go. And as we mentioned, that's going to be a really good game to look ahead to next week. Of course, they all will be, but New York going to Philadelphia. I mean, that has the makings of an interesting game and a good place for Philadelphia to rebound, indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Anything can happen. I think we're learning right now in this league. Boston took the loss to New York last week and is now having a dominating performance against Philadelphia. And just last week, we saw Philadelphia have this almost exact same dominant performance against the Flight. And in the other game tonight, we saw the Flight narrowly lose to New York. It is going to be exciting going through the rest of the season.
4th and 10 for Philadelphia. Skamizniak with all kinds of targets lined up on either side. He throws. Nobody is there intended for Jonathan Kilgore, and that will probably be the last time that we see Philadelphia on the field. Of course, we do expect them to maybe even burn the timeouts, try to see if they can get the ball back. But for Boston here, it's just a couple of runs and maybe even a couple of kneel downs soon after.
Yep, more than likely so. And I did, on the plane ride here, actually, Cam, while I was in the bathroom, I stepped away for just a second. I had the pleasure of getting to talk to Frank Doom, and I wasn't sure if you knew he was picked up as the new offensive coordinator for this Rebel squad just before the week. And I'm sure he's got to be happy with the performance. Talked to him a little bit, talked about how honored he is to be a part of this Boston team. Grew up about 90 miles from Boston, so he's always wanted to be a part of this club ever since they saw it get made. And he's just got to be so happy. Talked about how excited he is to see these new young rookies develop and play to their fullest potential. And clearly tonight, that's exactly what he's seeing.
You know, it is absolutely, and a good point you make. Frank Doom doing a fantastic job, just a stand-up guy, and certainly knows his stuff as Churchill gets another first down and another timeout is burnt by Philadelphia. But yeah, you can tell that experience, that knowledge, limiting this Philadelphia offense to just 7 points. I mean, it really was kind of a thing of surprise, I think, for both of us as we prepped for this game coming in. It's certainly been a one-sided game that we probably didn't expect to these standards, but it's been an impressive game, no doubt, for Doom.
Oh, goodness.
Churchill again. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Rebels.
Mike Churchill hitting the shimmy in the end zone. Didn't need to do it, but he did it. Putting another touchdown on the board. And if my memory serves right, giving that young man the hat trick. Another one for Mike.
Incredible. Really, what more can you say except to John there in the chat on our YouTube page? There is still a chance for the Wildcat, but I just want to warn you, it may not take place in the domination with which we're seeing tonight. So maybe it'll be in a playbook down the line. Who knows? 45-7, leading here by Boston. A minute 31 left. And, you know, they totally fooled me. I thought for sure that we'd see a couple of runs, a couple of kneel downs, but another touchdown was left on the board by the Rebels.
Well, you know, in Boston's defense, we did see a couple runs. Just, I don't know about you, didn't think he'd go for that long, though.
No, I did not, as Shelton gets the ball back to the 35-yard line. All right, so for those of you that are in the group chat, obviously you also pay attention to the SFL, no doubt, coming up this weekend. Are they any type of games? I'm going to open up the chat here. Are they any type of games that that catch your all's eye? Are they ones are you watching, or maybe you play for a team or so? So let us know as we take the final minute 25 here and just kind of interact with you guys. What games are you looking forward to this weekend? We would love to know.
I hear those guys in Chicago are pretty good, Cameron.
That is what I've heard, and I have to say, stout, no doubt. That pass is complete. Jonathan Kilgore. They call a timeout. That should be their last one.
Now, speaking of Chicago, the Chicago Warrior himself, Kronk Worthy, with the tackle there. Just getting into the closing moments of this game. Philadelphia still fighting. You'll love to see that flame still left in the team, regardless of the score on the board.
Goosebusters in motion. Mizniak to throw off the hands of the intended target, Shelton. And it's 2nd and 10. Yeah.
I mean, these guys, I mean, you know, it's late in the game. They're just kind of going for what they can get. But these guys, they're looking like a well-oiled machine, Cameron.
That indeed. Frank Doom in the chat says looking forward to Charleston versus Florida. He also sent a playbook to the coaches to see if he can help them out. Well, Frank, you know your stuff, my friend, and it's on display today, so I'm sure they'll certainly enjoy that. And I got to say, I'll have my eye on that Charleston game as well. It's going to be an interesting one. Charleston trying to get their first win of the season.
I've heard they got a nice leg on that Charleston squad.
You know, he tries. He's putting in the work, trying to get even better. Last I heard from the guy, he said that he was really glad that he just didn't screw one up last week. No misses, so, hey, we're getting there.
Hey, getting there. That's all you can ask for.
3rd and inches now for Philadelphia. 52 seconds remaining in this game. Let's go ahead and do it, DJ. Let's go ahead and call we know who it's going to be, our player of the game. Let's just go ahead and give the game ball to him. What do you say, Churchill?
Yeah, you know, yeah. Oh, goodness.
An interception. Falling backwards to the turf is Donde Talacarne, and he gets an INT. So there, we can put his name into the hat, of course, for players of the game.
Yeah, Mr. Talacarne. That's got to seal it. That's got to be the sword into the chest of this Cougar, putting it down. And I think you're right, Cameron. Churchill's got to get that nod. And on the defensive side, really just flip a coin, Cameron, because you could give it to a unit. You could give it to any unit. The defensive line was stellar. Skmizniak had breath down his neck all night. You could give it to this defensive back group. They held Mike Skmizniak to barely any passing yards at all. And this linebacking core clearly didn't let much go past the defensive line as far as the run game goes. Just a stellar performance all around.
Indeed. Incredible rebound by Boston. As you said, losing in week 1. They come back, put up 45 against Philadelphia. The final snap. And there is your game. Boston improves to 1-1. Philadelphia drops to 1-1. And folks, that's going to do it for a fun night of SFLm action. Where else would you rather be on a Thursday night? Final thoughts, my friend DJ, before we wrap it up.
Wow, I mean, just a great showing all around from Boston. I mean, I think the only thing that could have made that performance better was seeing the Wildcat come out once or twice. But stuff happens.
You can't always get what you want.
Not always, stuff happens. 19 first downs, I think, is just such an impressive stat for Boston.
Yeah, it really is. And what a game indeed for Boston. As you said, I can't remember the last time I've seen such a good, complete team effort.
For sure.
I got to tell you,
Any league.
in any league, keep Boston on your radar, folks. We'll see more of them for sure. Thank you, Ron Haynes, for the kind words there. We're going to sign off. For Alex West, for my buddy DJ Kilgannon, my name is Cameron Duty. You've been watching the SFLm Football Network. We'll see you next week.